Namaskar. Welcome to this session. We are trying to understand the Aviplavah Viveka Khyati, which is Saptadha. And out of the seven dimensions of this culminating Viveka Khyati, we considered the three dimensions of it. Now, we are going towards the fourth dimension. But before going to the fourth, finally we can consider the third dimension, which is a premier experience, a preview of the state of liberation, Kaivalya Moksha Nirvana. Sakshatkrutam Nirodha Samadhina Hanam. There is a samadhi which is Nirodha Samadhi, which is Asamprjn Samadhi, which makes the yogi familiar with Moksavastha. Now, it should be understood that there is nothing like avastha. Moksha is not avastha. And we have considered this already in our discussion of Hanam. It is not something that is going to come new, nor it is something that is destruction of all that is. So it is not altogether new, and it is not annihilation of the already existing one. So this we had considered, but now we are told that Nirodha Samadhi gives that Anubhuti of moksha. It is because of tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. When the drashta abides in his pristine essential nature. And then Swarupa Pratishtha Tadanim Chitishakti Yatha Kaivalye. So Yatha Kaivalya Swarupa Pratishtha. And therefore there is a preview of this Kaivalya Moksha which is going to be coming. It comes only once. And there is already a preview by Nirodha Samadhi. Now, Kaivalyavat Anubhava, Kaivalyavat Anubhuti. What is it? Vijnana Bhikshu tries to cast a light on this. By Nirodha Samadhi, there is some samsara nivrutyakya. Samsara nivrutyakya. That means end of all mundanity. That is experienced in Nirodha Samadhi. So the mundanity is completely gone. It's a zone, Samadhi is a zone where there is no touch of mundanity, no touch of samsara prapanca. And also end of any factor of bondage. Now Kaivalya is going to happen when the final body falls down. Caramadeha. The last and final body must fall down. And then only there is a Videha Mukti. And that experience comes in Samadhi. Videhāvastha, Vigatadehāvastha, Klesha Shudnyavastha, Klesha Hīnavastha, Bandha Nivrutyakya Avastha. So all these experiences come in Kaivalyam. So before such spiritual samambonam is going to happen, there is already experience. Yogi is familiar with such experience, and therefore there would be no perturbance. Because when we are going to get something for the first time, we are going to encounter something for the first time, I explained to you there are mixed feelings, excitement to anxiety. Now, this is not going to be taking place for a yogi, because yogi will have experienced such a state in so many Nirodha Samadhis which yogi will be having. Now, with regards to this, there is a technical question that can come up. That Asamprjn Samadhi, there is no vritti. Asamprjn Samadhi, there is absolutely no vritti. Then how it is to be understood or reconciled with what is being mentioned here, that the state of Kaivalya, the state of Moksha is experienced in Nirodha Samadhi. When there is no experiencing at all in Asamprjn Samadhi, how can there be this unique experience? In Asamprjn Samadhi, there is Sarvavritti Nirodha. So if there is Sarvavritti Nirodha, how come that you are now venturing to say that there is a Kaivalya Vritti to be experienced in Asamprjn Samadhi? So this is quite a formidable question. So here is the answer. The complete Nirodha kind of Asamprjn Samadhi and Hana Sakshatkar, Moksha Sakshatkar, Kaivalya Sakshatkar, they won't happen simultaneously. Of course, while yogi is in Asamprjn Samadhi, he really doesn't get the experience of moksham or nirvanam, because there can be no experience. There should be no experience at all in Asamprjn Samadhi because of Sarvavritti Nirodha. So there is not concomitance that yogi is in Samadhi and now and therefore experiencing Kaivalyam. But after Samadhi has faded out, after Samadhi has ended, yogi has experienced that in gone by time, I was without avidya. I was without avidya and tajanya vritti. I was without avidya and any vritti that would come from avidya. I was untouched by sorrow. I was untouched by klesha. So this is what the yogi gets. It is not experiencing concomitantly with samadhi, but after samadhi has ended, yogi then has this experience that so far, while I was in samadhi, I did not have any vritti, I did not have any samskar, I did not have any klesha, I did not have any prapanca, I did not have any mundanity, I did not have any sorrow. So that is how it is to be understood. It is not that while yogi is in Asamprjn Samadhi, he will experience Kaivalya. But after the Samadhi has faded out, then the yogi has inference of transcendence over time and space. Time and space and delimitations. And this clarification has come from Yoga Vartika of Vijnana Bhikshu, which is quite vital and important. Even Tattva Vaisharadi of Vachaspati Mishra also has clarified this साक्षात्कृतं प्रत्यक्षेण निश्चितं मया संप्रज्ञातावस्थायाम् एव निरोध समाधि साध्यं हानं न पुनरस्य परं निश्चितेव्यम अस्ति इति शेषः. So this is what Tattva Vaisharadi also says. The removal, that is hanam, removal of bondage, removal of avidya, removal of kleshas, which is brought about by Nirodha Samadhi, has been made by me. Has been made by me and not I am experiencing. And a direct factual perception as contained in the internal perception of Nirodha Samadhi. While I am in the state of Nirodha Samadhi only, and nothing further of that state of removal remains to be ascertained and revealed. And therefore this question, which seemed to be, and of course was, very formidable question, has been answered by both Vijnana Bhikshu and Vachaspati Mishra. Now we come to the fourth dimension of seven-dimensioned, culminatively dimensioned Aviplavah Viveka Khyati. What is the fourth one? What is the fourth Nirnaya? Bhavito Viveka Khyati Rupo Hanopaya iti. So this is of the nature that the Viveka Khyati form of Mokshopaya I have attained completely. So the means of Kaivalya, means of Moksha, has been completely accomplished, and not partially but completely. So now nothing needs to be attained. The means have been completely attained. So understand now, with the fourth dimension being mentioned, the Kaivalyanubhuti and the means of Kaivalyam both have been accomplished. And having had the Anubhuti of Kaivalyam, as just now explained, yogi confirms that the means of Kaivalya has been also attained. So that's how the fourth Nirnaya, the fourth dimension of Saptadha Viveka Khyati is mentioned. Now only with Vijnana Bhikshu's interpretation, the fourth would come before the third, because of the fact that one of them, between Vijnana Bhikshu and Vachaspati, one of them feels that the prajna, Saptadha Pranta Bhumi prajna, is of Viveka Khyati, and while the other one feels it is of yogi. So this we had considered earlier. So that's how Mokshopaya has been now completely accomplished, is the fourth kind of Nirnaya, ascertainment, assurance that the yogi has. So Mokshopaya, Kaivalyopaya has been attained, Ashesha, Vishesha, Nishesha. But yet Kaivalya has not happened. This is to be noted here. So Upaya has been accomplished. The Paurusheya Prayatnam or Anushtanam has been accomplished. Whatever has to be done as spiritual endeavor has been completely accomplished. Yet Kaivalya has not come about. So then what happens? Is it a suspended state? That yogi is now free from bondage, but Kaivalya not attained. So the food from mundanity has been removed, but the food into Kaivalya has not been put. So is it a suspended state? It appears to be strange. And therefore, in Shastra, they come to mention something as Karya Vimukti. And all the four so far considered are called Karya Vimukti. Whatever has to be done has been done. Esha Chatushti Karya Vimukti Prajnayaha is what Vyasa clearly mentions. So out of the seven, the first four are called Karya Vimukti. And therefore, the Guna Adhikara of Chitta has been now suspended, has now been terminated, has now been ended. But Guna Adhikara is not still ended. There is that momentum still. So, whatever has to be done has been done. But whatever has to happen is not still happened. So this is the condition up to the fourth Pranta Bhumi that we are looking at. Now there is something to happen. So that is going to come in the fifth, sixth and seventh dimensions of Saptadha Pranta Bhumi. They are called Chitta Vimukti. So what so far was considered was Karya Vimukti. So technically it is called Karya Vimukti. Karya means all that has to be done. But now the Chitta Vimukti. And therefore, Bhashyakar also makes it emphatically clear. Chitta Vimukti stu trai charitadhikara buddhihi. Now what is going to follow is the three dimensions left out. Three of the Pranta Bhumi, Saptadha Pranta Bhumi, and that is Chitta Vimukti. Yogi is yet to get freed from very Chitta. What is called as Charitadhikara Buddhi. Down there, this is the second leg of it. Therefore now the first there means the fifth one. Four have been considered. The fifth becomes the first here because this is Chitta Vimukti phase. Earlier four were Karya Vimukti phases. Now Pratamaha Charitadhikara Buddhi. So first phase is the Buddhi has become Charitadhikara, completely accomplished. Now the Gunas won't play any role. Gunas won't have any adhikara. Gunas won't have any power. Samapta Gunadhikara, that is Charitadhikara Buddhi. How is that it has happened? Kruta Bhoga Apavarga Karyet Thyartha. The both Bhoga and Apavarga Purusharthas have been accomplished. So the fifth one is Charitadhikara Buddhi. The Buddhi has attained a condition, a unique condition, that it is Charitadhikara, accomplished thoroughly, completely, absolutely. Now with reference to this, we have the popular concept in Adhyatma called Jivan Mukti. So we are told about a condition of a yogi who is now without any bondage. There is not going to be a next incarnation at all. So that's why this is samapta adhikara, charita adhikara, Caramadeha. That means last embodiment. So this yogi is referred to as Jivana Mukta. He is not without body, but he is Jivana Mukta. The body is still held on. The body has not still fallen off. And once it falls off, there won't be again a reincarnation. That is the state of Charitadhikara. Now, we have considered the Jivan Mukta Avastha as it is projected in New Vedanta is not endorsed by Patanjali. It is because still three more states or three more aspects have to still come about, and the first of it has come about by Charitadhikara Buddhi. Now the gunas are not exercising any gravity. Then what happens? Then comes the next phase, which is the sixth dimension of Saptadha. Guna Girishikara Tatachuta Iva Gravano Niravasthanaha Swakarane Pralayabhimukaha Sahatenastam Gacchati. What happens? Like Girishikara Tatachuta. See, on the mountain top, on the top of the mountain, if there is a boulder, and if that boulder is slightly displaced, it reels down the slope and it comes down until it reaches the ground. It doesn't stop because it's a huge boulder. So it comes uninterrupted right to the foothills, right at the bottom of the mountain. It will not be held anywhere because it is a large, huge boulder. It will just pulverize anything that comes in its way. Similarly, the gunas are now reeling down. They have lost the support. They have lost any power of gravity. Therefore, the gunas, like a boulder displaced from mountain top, straight away comes down. Doesn't stop anywhere in between. Similarly, chitta becomes pralaya abhimukha. So this is how the happening is taking place. First of all, the buddhi became charitadhikara. Having become charitadhikara, now the buddhi, like a boulder getting displaced from mountain top, it gets displaced from yogi's psyche. And it right away reaches the bottom, which is pralaya abhimukhata. That means the chitta straight away gets merged into avyakta tattvam. So chitta merges into avyakta. So once it merges into avyakta, that is the last phase. That is the seventh phase. So the first phase is accomplished Buddhisattva. Second phase is that it gets displaced and starts reeling down, is the second phase. And it reels down and reaches the bottom, like a boulder reaching the bottom of the mountain. It finally reaches the avyakta tattvam. So that is the third. So fifth, sixth and seventh are thus mentioned. These are happenings. Now once it reaches avyaktam, nacha esham pravileelanam punah asti utpadaha prayojana bhavat. So once the chitta reaches the Mula Prakriti, once it becomes pravilina, vilina, pravilina, na punha asti utpadaha, then it again doesn't come to function. Why? Prayojana bhavat. The prayojanam has been lost, has been ended. Bhoga pavragartha have been attained. So once having reached the avyakta tattvam, the chitta won't be revoked from there, it won't come back. Etasyam avasthayam gudasambandhatitaha swarupamatra jyotihi amala kevali purusha iti. Now the purusha is absolutely free from prakriti, the gunadhikara, guna sambandham, and therefore swarupamatra jyotihi. Now it lives in its own effulgence, amalaha, with no tainting factors touching it. Kevali, therefore isolated from gunas. And it is to be noted here, Sarupamatra Jyotihi. Jyoti, luminosity. So moksha is not Pashanavat avastha, but it is Jyoti. It is Prakashamaya avastha. So that is how the Saptadha Pranta Bhumi has been mentioned. So this is in a way Brahmanization. Brahma is Jyoti, Prakasha Rupa. And I recall a quotation from Chandogya Upanishad 8.12.2. Param Jyoti Rupa Sampadya Svena Rupena Avinishpadyante. So same expression that Vyasa has in the sutra, he has taken it from Chandogya Upanishad. Param Jyoti Rupa Sampadya Svena Rupena Abhinishpadyante. Etam Saptavidam Prantabhumi Prajna Anupashyan Purushaha Kushalaha iti Akhyayate. So with such Saptadha Prantabhumi Prajna, the Purusha is said to be Kushala. Kushala means completely accomplished. Then what happens? Pratiprasave api chittasya muktaha kushala ityeva bhavati gunatitattvaditi. So now gunatitatvat, guna atitatvam. So untouched by gunas. And therefore he is said to be muktaha. That is how the mukti has been described. And this is the complete meaning of the Saptadha Pranta Bhumi Prajna, which is the means of Kaivalyam. So the seeker of yoga is looking for Viveka Khyati. There is expectation of Viveka Khyati. And that is really Hanopaya in its culminative phase. Now, this Viveka Khyati is to be attained. And then it will be reaching that culminative phase of Saptadha Pranta Bhumi Aviplavah Viveka Khyati. So now, what is the means for this Viveka Khyati? Is the next immediate question, vital question, $1 million question. And now, therefore, Patanjali's text would commence to mention that Siddha bhavati viveka khyatihi hanopaya iti nacha siddhi antarena sadhanam ityedad arabhyate. So there has to be some sadhana, there has to be some practice, there has to be some anushtan. What is that anushtanam? What is that practice? That is being commenced. So with that, the portal for Viveka Khyati its attainment is opened out. And that is the Sutra 2.28. Yoganganushthanat ashuddhikshaye jnanadiptihi avivekakhyate. Avivekakhyate, until Vivekakhyati, there is a measure. There are set practices. There is set anushtanam. Yoganganushtanam. And that is how Patanjali opens out the corridor of Ashtanga Yoga, which is ultimately is going to give Viveka Khyati, and in culminative phase of Viveka Khyati there will be Saptadha, Prajna, giving the Aviplavah Viveka Khyati. Aviplavah Viveka Khyati would give Hanam. Hanam would end the Heya Hetu, the Dukkham, the sorrow. And this is how the Chatur Vyuhas get mentioned in Patanjali's text. So with this sutra we are coming to the end of discussion of Chatur Vyuha. Heya Hetuhu Hanam Hanopayaha. You should recall the enunciation to this topic, which commenced long time back. So these are the Chatur Vyuhas, and Chatur Vyuhas have been completely described. And in description of it, we had a huge topic covered, the entire metaphysics of Drushya, that is Prakriti, entire metaphysics of Drashta, that is Purusha Tattva, then their conjunction, the effect of conjunction is the Heyam. So that's how an enormous topic was covered during the discussion of Chatur Vyuhas. The whole metaphysics of Prakriti Purusha and branches of metaphysics such as ontology, teleology were discussed, cosmology. So an enormous topic has been covered in delineation of Chatur Vyuhas. Metaphysics, that is cosmology, ontology, teleology. And the essential kind of, or the real kind of sorrow, not the sorrow that we experience in our life, but the causal sorrow, primeval sorrow, and then that sorrow was discussed. The cause of such sorrow was discussed. Disjunction of the sorrows was mentioned. The process of disjunction was mentioned. That is called Darshanam, Viveka Khyati. And then Viveka Khyati was mentioned as Hanopayaha, which is a particular caliber called Aviplavah. Aviplavah Viveka Khyati means culminative phase of Viveka Khyati, which is Saptadha Pranta Bhumi, 7 dimensions of it reaching the culminative point. And with that, Hanam, so Heya Hetu Hanam Hanopayaha was completely discussed in the topic that we went by. Now it opens portal for new topic. What has to be done? What is the Purushartha? What are the measures to be taken to be attaining this means of Kaivalya, means of Moksha? That is being commenced by the Sutra 2.28. And therefore we are embarking upon the Ashtanga Yoga topic of Patanjali's treatise, which has unparalleled importance, extreme importance. As a matter of fact, Patanjali is known for Ashtanga Yoga. Now that is the one which is going to be commenced from the next sutra 2.28. With that, we are ending this huge topic, ocean of topics covered, the entire metaphysics of Patanjali's system. So with that, we end the session here, and we are opening out the portal for Ashtanga Yoga Anushtanam in our next session. So, namaskar all of you.